The West Texas Intermediate crude oil price surged over 5% last week, but then pulled back by Thursday. Now, a lot of people saw that reversal and exhaled, but the August benzene contract price had already settled before that relief arrived, and that meaningfully changed the cost math for 5 plastic resin grades in particular before most buyers had a chance to react. I'm Michael Workman, and this is Resin Market Moves for the week ending August 14th, and we're going to be talking about the aftershock here. With respect to crude oil, we saw it peak at 83, just shy of $84 a barrel on the Strait of Hormuz disruptions, but pulled back to $81 by Thursday on a weak demand data and a large U.S. domestic stockpile of crude. The pullback didn't undo the August settlement, though, and the contract had already been finalized. So for polystyrene, ABS, polycarbonate, and polyamide 6 and 6,6, the nylons, the aftershock landed before the relief came, and it doesn't go backwards. Everything else this week, there's 2 markets running at the same time. Which one you're in depends on what you buy. So let's go through every market quickly. Polyethylene, we saw the 4th consecutive month ResinSmart tracking of inventory builds across that material and those markets. Producers are still continuing to seek 5 cents a pound for August. The supply data doesn't support it, continue to push back. Polypropylene, no August initiatives announced. August pricing is almost entirely going to follow polymer grade propylene or PGP settlement. So keep our eyes on that. Brief PDH unit flaring at Invista resolved itself by the end of the week. So noise in the market, not a signal. PVC, we saw the 3rd consecutive month of an inventory build in that market as well. No August price initiatives are out there, with construction demand still soft. That shouldn't surprise. Buyers continue to hold the leverage in that market. PET, no new increases announced. The key feedstocks for that resin, PTA and paraxylene, of course, those costs are expected to provide a fairly firm floor after July's 3 cent a pound decline. There has been the seasonal bottle demand that we typically talk about in this time of the year. It's been below expectations. With most of those domestic PET assets in the Gulf Coast, we need to continue to watch the weather. And so far, so good there. In polystyrene, this is where we saw the aftershock of the crude oil spike and come back down, hit the hardest. Producers have really indicated 5 to 11 cents a pound, depending on the grade from an August benzene settlement perspective. And they have a cost basis for that they didn't have last month now. So material availability is not an issue in polystyrene. So there isn't guaranteed that we'll see full implementation of those increases. But the important thing to keep in mind, use the July contract data as your reference, not the data here as we start pulling into August. ABS and polycarbonate, no announced initiatives there despite higher benzene costs. Higher costs are creating a floor against additional downward movement in that space right now. We're probably going to see some activity there in Q4. Polyamide 6,6 or nylon 6,6, higher benzene partially offset by a lower August butadiene contract. So we kind of have up on one side, down on the other. With no new price initiatives out there and those mixed feedstock signals, we're likely to see some status quo in that market for a little bit. Nylon 6, it's active right now. There is one supplier out with a 12 cent a pound increase, citing higher benzene and sulfur costs. And it's a little complicated. Caprolactam, which is the direct precursor of nylon 6, moved lower this week while benzene moved higher. So a producer that cites benzene as the cost driver does need to explain why the downstream caprolactam settled in a different direction. That's your negotiating lever. The crude oil spike was the event that everyone was really tracking last week. The aftershocks from that were the August benzene settlement. It happened before. That pullback really gave anyone meaningful relief in those markets. If you buy polyethylene, polypropylene, or PVC, your environment hasn't materially changed. Supply is long and leverage is real. The data is in your favor right now. If you're in the benzene part of the polymer chain or pyramid, your July benchmarks are still your strongest reference. Use them before August. Settlement is the only number that's still on the table. And if you're a nylon 6 supplier, make sure you can point to caprolactam data before you respond to anything. As I close here, we're having a really interesting session. The initial feedback has been very strong. A buyer versus seller info session, live negotiation where I'll be sitting across the table from Tyler Wheeler, a former seller myself. And of course, Tyler enables buyers and every day here at ResinSmart. Check out the comments for a registration link there. It's completely free. We'd love to have you check it out. And if you are attending or plan to attend the best show in plastics every year, which is the Manufacturers Association of Plastic Processors Benchmarking Conference, September 29th, we're going to be having a special event there. Come join us for a special event for Blackjack. We're going to have a little fun. And we are also going to be doing a live version of the buyer versus seller session on that same day. So reach out to the MAPP organization. And lastly, if you want to see where your resin program benchmarks against the market right now, reach out. That is the business that we're in. And again, we're here to help you continue to empower your procurement effort. That's all I got this week. See everybody next week. Travel safe and remember to purchase wisely.